Hey guys, I'm MG, and today I'll be looking at Spider-Man 2, which is a 2004 American superhero film that is based on the comics with the same name that was directed by Sam Raimi and written by Alvin Sargent. However, let's stop wasting time and start reviewing right now. This film was actually great, and it's honestly better than the original in almost every way, which is what you expect from a sequel. But that's not to say it fixed all of its problems, with the main issue being the relationship between Peter and MJ. Like, it's just all over the place, and way too complicated for my liking. It is more natural than before, but not natural enough for me to be intrigued by it. And MJ is still this typical damsel in distress, but I feel like her character was written worse, with where she can decide what she wants. I know Peter can decide, but he has responsibilities. What responsibilities does MJ have? There's nothing holding her back from loving Peter. And while I liked Kirsten Dunst's performance, her character was too unrealistic, with where she doesn't know what she wants. Which in turn makes me not care about her struggles, since we basically don't even see them, which just makes it worse. And speaking of struggles, I feel like we don't even struggle that Peter is feeling as much as we could have. I mean, we do see it, which gives us a reason to care about him, but it could have been a little more complex. The pacing was also a little too fast in a couple of moments, like the scenes with J. Jonah Jameson being his usual self. The visual effects also haven't aged perfectly, specifically with the tentacles, but they still look pretty decent. And my last issue is that I don't understand the message that this film was trying to bring out. Like, Peter wants to live his life normally, but he can't because he's Spider-Man. And when he realizes that he does have a choice, he lives his life the way he wants to, but then decides to go back being Spider-Man for the people. And it's like, wait, is this movie encouraging me to do what everyone else wants, and not what I want? Because if it is, then that is a really wrong message to say. Maybe it's not a message, and it's just part of a story, but if it is a message, then I'm not following it. Since people can choose to do what they want to do. But this film contrasts that, and I don't really like it. Again, maybe it wasn't intended to say anything, but it's still a really weird thing to say in a movie. But despite these issues, this film was still really entertaining. The characters, except for MJ, were really well written, with great performances as well. Peter Parker is much more engaging in this film, since we see how being Spider-Man has affected his life, which in turn makes me really care about him, and it's really nice to see the contrast between him being a hero and him not being a hero, which is a really neat thing to see in a plot like this, with Tobey Maguire doing a really good job of showing his character's personality. And I like that Spider-Man is not that humorous, but still is, to some extent. With funny lines like, "Here's your change," or unintentionally funny moments, like when Peter yells no. Harry was also much more sinister in this film, and I really love his desire for revenge, which brings out some tense moments with him. And James Franco was really scary in his acting. Doctor Octopus was a really solid villain, with great acting from Alfred Molina, who is really good at shifting his character's personality. And I like how he starts off as a nice guy, but then gets corrupted into being bad, until he saves the day by destroying what he created. Now, he's not quite as scary as Willem Dafoe, but who is? And speaking of Dafoe, his cameo in the end was really wholesome, since it was quite scary, and it sets up the next movie really well. Aunt May was still as likable as ever, with really natural acting from Rosemary Harris. Plus, Uncle Ben's dream sequence did a really nice job enhancing the emotional weight of the film, and it also gives nice character growth for Peter, and Cliff Robertson was really good in his cameo. And speaking of Ben, I like that we get moments establishing Peter's guilt of causing his death, which creates some really nice moments between him and his aunt that are really heartwarming. And J. Jonah Jameson was still as fun as ever, with delightful acting from J.K. Simmons. The action sequences were really entertaining, and even more exciting than before. The opening scene was a really nice way to open up a film, and the fact that it's about delivering pizza is just so funny to me. The car chase was really riveting, the bank fight was really engaging, from the bank to the building, the train fight was quite thrilling, from the building to the train, and the final fight was pretty solid. So, amazing action scenes. The cinematography was really creative, with a lot of memorable shots and diverse transitions between scenes that I really enjoyed. And it's what I expect from a director like Sam Raimi. The editing was really well put together, which enhances the excitement of the film quite a bit. The music was just as good as before, where it highlights the excitement that the action is bringing out. And overall, despite its few problems, this film was really amusing from start to finish, and is a worthwhile sequel to the original that I would highly recommend for everyone. 8.2 out of 10. Goodbye everyone, and thank you for watching. Bye.